Alrighty, excuse me, it's a little windy out here. I want to do a little update on the 65 Belair. Kind of what I've been doing with it. Been goofing off a little bit, jumping between cars as I'm missing some parts. Finally put 8-inch or the 3-inch wide beauty rings for the 8-inch rallies on it. Pulled the glass out of the car, and you'll see about right here, I still need to put some filler here. Here all the way over, all the sheet metal in here has been completely replaced because there was holes all in it. And I'm gonna be honest, I wire brushed here, but I am not satisfied, so I'm gonna pull a sandblaster out. Gonna go down here, sandblast all of it, because I just don't want it coming back. I'm not one of those people that likes doing things 2 or 3 times. And this car's gonna be nice enough that it'll make sense to do it this way. Because eventually we'll have to still do the quarter stuff to it. The frame, we'll scoot out here real quick, has been sandblasted. It's got POR on it. It's pretty much ready. In the trunk of the car, I've got brand new, they're the eBay control arms. I put all new Moog upper ball joints, lower ball joints, all that stuff's in the new control arms. But I sandblasted this all down to the gray metal. Excuse me. I have a 12 bolt for the car. I'm taking the 331 gears out. I have a set of 256 gears with a 2 series posi unit that's going to go in this car, and I'm going to run it with that iron case Super T10 with a 342 first gear, and the 350 that's in it I'm just going to leave in it. I got a set of valve covers, set of Cal custom valve covers I'm going to throw on it. So for now, before I go through and put in the crazy engine, the 396, which will eventually go in the car, I'm going to put a little I'm going to disguise it as an L79, and that way kind of putt around with it. I have been working a little bit trying to polish the windshield. Now keep in mind, it started, you'll be able to see it, looking like this. This was with light polish. I'm going to be able to get all those out and not have to replace the windshield. I'm going to do a lot of cleaning with it. But I'm going to be able to save it without having to replace it, I believe. I think I'll be happy enough. I can make it so you won't be able to see the scratch. So once again, here, all the way to here had to be all completely replaced. It's all steel. I'll see if I can't do a photo edit or the video edit, and I'll add the pictures in there before and after what they look like. And then I still need to come in here, sandblast the top of the dash, because I don't want any of this to come back. I'll probably go ahead and put an epoxy, do all that. The top channel is in okay shape, but like I said, I think I'm going to get some tarp, sandblast it so it looks really good. I have got the entire interior ordered from Cars Inc., and it's going to be red. I got the entire red, the seat covers, the door panels. I sent them my uppers. I had to find a set. Thank goodness there's a guy, I think it's West Virginia or Virginia, that has a lot of these. He ended up sending me out of a 66 two-door sedan the upper rails, because they do not reproduce them, so I could get the door things made. I sandblasted the rails and I sent them to Cars, and then we got the headliner and all. So the ultimate game plan for the car is the red interior, black exterior, and then I'm probably gonna switch it up for a little bit. I'll probably run these tires for a little bit wheels. I have a set of polished torque thrust I'll show you in a minute. I might run on it for a little bit, but the end goal is the stamped steel wheels, black with poverty caps, probably for a little while on the car, and then once again do the hand painted letters so it looks pretty unique. Now, other things that I have, excuse me, that is the under the seat pan. I went and picked it up yesterday. That's going to need to be replaced, and I'll show you in a minute why. And then we have the passenger floor pan here, which doesn't come with a toe board, so I'm going to have to make a little bit of the toe board stuff, and I'll show it to you here in just a second. It's not the end of the world. I got that little welder. I'll come in here and do it. So you'll see down here, scoot this out of the way. This is why we got to put the pan in. I do believe I can come in here, cut and section all of this without getting into any of the roll beads that are actually in the floor. So what I'll do is I'll cut and section out there perfectly so I can put it in. I'll wrap it under. I want to make this thing look like it's never been done. I'm gonna do the bottom side because we still have to pull the car off the frame. And I think I got my buddy Elton, who may, if I get it ready, let me bring it over and we'll swap the frames out on the cars. Because that is a 66 frame. It's a 6500 right now. And then under here, those are our holes you see. And you see how big the bad the scale is? So my goal is to come in here and replace that entire panel. It looks like it's all spot welded in there, so it should be a pretty easy panel replacement to do that. But everything else in here looks fine. The passenger or driver's floor pan rear looks good. There's some holes here that's going to need to be patched. And then there's only those right there. Those are not even big enough. I can weld them up in a second. So really just this side, back here, and there's a place in the trunk that's no bigger than the size of a 50-cent piece that has to be done. So the car is actually pretty decent inside. Not really bad. And then it's just small stuff like, I was looking at this yesterday, so like the bottom of the fender, that's a very easy cut out patch. Sorry, bottom door, we gotta do the fender here. We'll cut that out, make sure it's all solid. The only thing that may be a little bit more difficult is here in the front of the fender. So this stuff here and this. So you'll see there's a little bit of rust bubbles coming through. These cars are notorious, you know, the batteries would leak and they get in the inner fender. I have a brand new inner fender for the car. So my goal is probably pull the fender, patch down here. And probably in the meantime, if I go to the paint store, I might see if I can't color match. I might take the cowl panel up there, polish it out. If they can color match it where I can blend it in here and make it look like these patches never done, I'll drive it for a little while with the patina on the car. I think that'd be unique. And I'll show you under here. I had to put the heater core in it finally. I don't remember if I showed that in the last video or not. So it's got the pretty hopped up Smog 305. I think it's 882 heads, flat top pistons, thumpr cam in it. It runs really well. Put a set of plugs in it. It's got a little 600 Edelbrock manual choke on it. But this down here is the stuff that I got to work on. So I got to section that out and put the new sheet metal on it. And what I'll do is weld the new nuts on it so I can actually put the fender extension down there back on the car. So, not a big deal. Things I have also started doing, there was a couple places in the hood. So there was here, it was patched. I might should put that little picture in here too. It's about a square, about yay big. There looks like there's going to be a couple more right over here in this corner. It's going to be cut and sectioned. But I wanted, like I said, I want to do this thing right. I want it to be nice. I want something I can cruise around in that's a little bit more pop, but I want it to be, I don't want this thing super nice right off the bat. I want to be able to take and drive it a little bit. That's part of the reason why I want to gear it the way I do, so I can enjoy it. And it's already got power steering on the car, which I'm going to put that on the other frame. And it's got power disc brakes on the front of it too. And someone's already switched it over to the tandem master cylinder. I had to put a new master cylinder, the old one was bad, but it's got a rebuilt booster on it. And then all brand new brake lines and stuff too to make it safe to drive. Because I really do want to put miles on this thing to get to drive it and enjoy it. And I'm going to keep an eye out for, if I can find better bumpers, stuff like that. Because this one's got some dings and stuff in it. But this is that weird car that everybody was like, you like that big old grandpa car? I love this thing. Also, I did find, I'm going to end up running the Biscayne. Biscayne has chrome that goes right along this upper body line. I'm going to run that on the car, and I'm probably going to go ahead and do the lower rocker moldings. So it's going to look like a Biscayne. I'm going to keep the Belair emblems on it. So it should be pretty interesting. And then we got the inner fender here, the new one. I need to still put the splash shield in it. So we got that. I got that, once again, iron case Super T10. It should be a lot of direct bolt-on swap. I'm going to try and run the Chevelle shifter on the car for now and see if it fits. I taped it off in the floor where I measured it on the other frame to see where it would fit. Let's get over here real quick and I'll show it. But I'm going to still wait and put it in there before I cut. So the back end of it looks like it should be right here. So that will be perfect to have your hand right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, hopefully. And then we'll have to get another steering column and take the column shifter stuff out. I got a vacuum gauge for here. The radio delete plate should be here tomorrow, I think, on Monday. Have that in there. The whole dash is going to get painted red. I may do the under the dash AC unit on this car too. See if I can't fit one under here just so I can drive it and have AC. So once again, I really want it to be a cruiser and something to enjoy and not something that's just throw a ton of money at it. Because that's something I like about this car is it's not terribly expensive. The interior stuff is quite pricey, but the majority of everything else isn't quite as bad. The interior looks like it's going to be about $2,500 for the parts, and that's door panels, headliner, package tray, because I want it all to match, sun visors, and then I'll have to have them put on my seats so it looks real good. But stay tuned. We got a lot that we're going to do with this car. I might even go take and play it up there at Piedmont. We got the racetrack right up the road and see how it does. Because it does. It runs good. You'll see in the other videos with the island. I mean, it's got a good little cam and it runs good. It's probably about 330 horse, I would guess. It's probably, what, 9 something to 1 compression. It should be fun. And then, like I said, I'll have the 256 with the 12 bolt. But a lot of people don't realize that first gear in the Super T10 is 342. With a 256 rear gear, that's like running an M20 with 342 rear gear. So it's going to be really, really fun to drive, to be a big car. But please stay tuned. We'll get more of this thing done. We'll get it pretty and have a big old car to cruise in.